Hello and welcome to Camera Reviews. This I found in my box of magazines. It's volume 2, number 1. It's a classic, it's just a smaller magazine size. Let's have a look at it. 10 by 8, almost the size of a sort of photographic print. It is 50, it's about 55 pages, and it's about 10 by 8, which is about print size, a little bit smaller than an A4. It's not, this one I'm showing is not in great condition. I have a couple of others, like I said, or one other which is in better condition. This one, I think I've had it out on the shelf. The other ones I've got tucked away in a box. Let's have a look at the on cover. This was first published, I think, June 2003, quarterly, about £8. You can see more on foto8.com, where I'll put a link. It's foto8.com. I put a link on the website on this, but I would put a link on the YouTube information bit so you can have a look. Let's have a skim through it. This was the brainchild of John Levy, who edited it, put it together, compiled it, and was the sort of the spearhead of the whole magazine and concept. Let's have a quick look. Right, what we've got? We have contributor biographies: Brian Fitzgerald, Horst A. Friedrichs, Colin Jacobsen, Christopher Perkins, Zach Waters. The cover is by David Lewis. So let's have a look. I've got the contents page here. So it's a quarterly magazine. This is volume 2, number 1. Let's have a little skim through it. There's David Lewis' Cape Town Fringe photographs in I think it's the removals of District 6, a part of Cape Town. It's a township. The pictures, how he got access to this is really interesting. But I remember these at the time when I saw these. I was like, wow, how on earth did he get access? Look at that. The beautiful documentary shots of the communities and people's lifestyle and the brutality and the togetherness, you know, of people living in this township. District 6, now Manenberg, I think. You can actually go online and look at these mags as well. There's a photo where it's got an archival system. I'll find the link and put that there so you can skim through this at your leisure and on the internet. Colin Jacobsen, The Heart of the Matter, Vietnam War. Colin Jacobsen, I remember, used to be the picture editor of the Independent on Saturday magazine. I have a box of them somewhere and I don't know where they are, but I definitely got them somewhere and I want to dig them out and look through them. It's a bit on Larry Burrows' Vietnam. It's on Jonathan Cape. It'd be interesting to have a look. Sadly, Larry Burrows died in Vietnam. He was a great war photographer. Desert Angels by Horst A. Friedrichs, beautiful. I remember this, when I saw this issue, I saw this woman. Look at her, she's amazing. Look at that, it's beautiful. I remember seeing these prints at the time and they stuck in my mind. They're so beautiful and placid and just the textures and shape of it and the colour. It looks like when I used to print and got that, if anybody knows printing, that it got that sort of sepia, that record rapid feel to it, where it's just that bit of colour, you know. And looking at some of the text here, it says yellow, orange sunlight from far away over the dry desert ground rolled into the kitchen. It's got that warm tone to it as well, even in the black and white. I presume it's in Colombia, vast desert stretching. Yeah, it's in the desert, Venezuela to Colombia. Look at that, it's so beautiful. Look at that. I think 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel, Garcia, Marquez. I don't know much. I'll have to have a little look at that. I'll have to refresh myself on this. I just found this last night, so I just thought I'd put it on and show. I know Chris Steele Perkins, Magnum photographer, spent a lot of time in Japan, or maybe still does. I think this is his Walking Tokyo. I think it's his walk about experimenting with colour, experimenting with street photography. Having been in Tokyo, it's an amazing, a mass of people and fashion and food and obviously because I'm from Europe, everything's different and it's incredible. But one thing I noticed about Tokyo when I was there working, how really interesting, sorry, not interesting, how nice everybody is, how nobody cares about you taking photographs. It's an amazing place to just get your camera and go and shoot without anybody. In fact, people actually come up and speak to you and ask you what you're doing, being a Westerner. But I found it a very interestingly nice place to photograph, and I'm sure Chris is in his element shooting there. It's amazing reflections on that. So yeah, Birdman by Zach Waters. This, I think, is the only time this is actually being published in a magazine. The book has just come out with Blue Coat Press, and maybe I should put something on here looking at the book. But this is 2003. This hasn't been published in like this since 2003. No other magazines picked up on it in the UK or America. That's Liberation in Luiz. That's in the northern France. These are up from the northeast. That is on a ferry coming back from on the English Channel. The guys who drive these trucks were very tired, coming back and having some rest. All got the England tops on. That's the Liberation there. That's in Kent. This is in Essex in the northeast. But yeah, this is the only time they've actually been out in a magazine. And since the book's come out, nothing else has been published. So this is a story, Parents Again by Brian Fitzgerald. Some interesting photography. Snapshot of family life. So there's more than this. It's grandparents, caregivers. So 12 groups exist in Norfolk alone, others meet monthly. Expanded service to include support groups for children. So maybe I'll have to look into this. It's grandparents raise their children, blah, 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 blah. I think it's something where people go back into the grandparents as such, go back into the back in the community and look after vulnerable children. It's interesting. It's really nice. But I'm just picking up on this, so bear with me if I'm a little bit wrong. Rhubarb, that was a big festival that used to take place in Birmingham. I'm not even sure if it still happens. You get portfolio reviews, talks by Martin Parr, Chris Boot, more Photo 8, Insight here, subscriptions and stuff. Baby, I Want You So, it's a celebration of the 24 years since the world's first test tube baby. I love these shots. Keyzer, I think this is the Gulags. This was published by Trolley, trolleynet.com. ZONA, presume it's about the Siberian Gulags. Great photographer, Carl. This is sort of showing other books. A listings of exhibitions. What we've got on 2003, we have Inge Maraf, Border Spaces, the Leica Gallery, Walker Evans at the Photographers Gallery, Guy Boudin at the Shine Gallery, Homer Sykes, Shanghai Odyssey, still going strong, Homer. And I'll have a look. I've got a few Homer's books. I'm going to have a look at them. What else have we got? Iron Camera, Easter Eden. Yeah, interesting. And then we have some advertising. So Baby, I Want You. So this, I presume, here by Tina Stallard is on at the Picture House Centre of Photography. That's interesting. A photographer's gallery. He's got the Walker Evans colour by the looks of that. That's interesting. That's interesting. Many people associate Walker Evans with the Farm Security Association in the 30s, late in the 30s and 40s America, with the photographing of the farmers' New Deal system and relocation of migrant workers and things like that. That picture there, I got that poster. That was a picture at the Side Gallery many years ago. I need to look into that. I've still got that poster somewhere. Let's have a look at it. Yeah. Some advertising. We've got IPG, which I had a little look at before. We have Seven, it's a very reputable photography agency. We've got Mirror Pics. So these are all network. Oh yeah, that was Homer Sykes, Justin Layton, Stuart Friedman, Mike Goldwater, originally Paul Law. I remember Paul Law being at Network. For the likes of me, I forgot everybody who was there. Yes, so great agency, no longer around, but the photographers are all still around. Got Seven, who are still around. IPG is no longer around. Garcia, which I think is in Italy, they're still doing stuff. Exile Image, Panos, very big still. We've got Simon Roberts. That's an early one, isn't it? Look at that, Simon Roberts. Where is he? Yeah, no address, but I knew where his office was many years ago when he was in London. John Angerson. Wow, I've got one of John's books I'm going to look at. Interesting. Richard Bailey, Ariel Stock, George Blonsky. Got Six, Sharpen Your Pencil Masterpiece, Photography Studio Specialist, Planet Syndication, and Calumet supported the Desert Angels of Horst Friedrichs. Nice, that Calumet put into that. Yeah, so there's an insight. Go and have a look at the rest of the stuff. John Levy sort of put all this together. It needs to be looked at, it needs to be remembered. Well done, John. I've got a few more. I'm going to do them as well. When I pick them out of my little storage boxes, I'll get them on here. And you can also, as I said, look at them online.